feet away. Ah, wrong way. Somebody dropped my drink. I had to shotgun it, but that didn't work out.
Hey guys, and today we're gonna try to see if we can get this into here in our 1985 AE86 coupe project. So I'm gonna turn it over to Yoshi here so he can talk about what he's doing today.
What's up, guys? We are gonna tear our 5.3 down. We're gonna see what's wrong with it, if anything's salvageable on it, get it ready for mock-up. We got our new oil pan ready to flip the oil pan around. We've got our mock-up block in the engine bay just sitting in there, just so we can start figuring out where we can place stuff, where everything's gonna sit, and get this beautiful thing on the bottom of the block.
So you want to go over that instead of being a back pump, it's gonna be.
It'll relocate our pickup tube and all of our where the oil's actually gonna sit to the front of the block, so we can get it lower into the engine bay. This isn't gonna be in our way finding the cross member, so we can actually sit everything down to make it fit under the hood, because we're trying not to hack up our hood because we really like it. We're gonna get as low as we possibly can, and Hugo's gonna go over all the suspension stuff that he's gonna be doing.
So over the last episode, we were trying to get this front end dialed in. We got it actually pretty good. So if you wanna come over here and see the tires, you have the tires a little bit too far back. So we got these adjustable links right here that we're gonna either try to make them work, or we might have to cut them and then retrade them a little bit so we could get this geometry right. So the point of doing this is basically pushing your caster forward, so that way your center of gravity, your axle's a little bit more forward, which will give you a little more stability, and it's gonna perform where it should. Right now we have this issue of whenever we're turning the wheel, we're actually heading into the back of this fender. So being 17s and everything, I don't think that should happen. So hopefully we'll get this dialed in today, and then we'll start working on the little things. We also have a shock because our camera guy hates it when we push this thing in and out and we make it hop and the spring comes out from the back. So he got us a shock so to keep us from having fun, I guess.
And with that, guys, it is true. The spring just pops out in and out of there. It's a $25 part. We thought we'd just put it in until we can figure out what we're doing with the back rear. With that being said, let's get into this. We'll start with the engine teardown, and we'll pop back and forth in between the different guys as we go forward. And then I will later in the episode show you guys all the work I've done to the interior. We've been experimenting a little bit with different paints and learning how to paint. So let's get into it.
We just pulled the valve covers off. This is the driver's side, and it definitely looks like it got a little hot in here. Everything's a little grimy. Passenger side, if I can get the valve cover off, a little bit better condition. So just things we need to keep track of. Well, all these heads are gonna get sent out. They're gonna get gone over. We'll do everything we can in-house, but anything that is broken or severely needs to be reworked, we'll send out to a machine shop and get it all taken care of. So once we put it all back together, it's gonna run flawlessly. Get these rockers off.
You want to talk about the studs?
Oh yeah. We do have a couple broken exhaust studs. A lot of these look good. That one is busted off inside of it. Traditionally, drill, tap it, try and pull it out. A lot of these, especially on the LS's, they like to get cooked inside of them, so they don't come out very easily. So what we'll end up doing is we'll actually weld a nut to the outside of this, and in the process of welding it, it's gonna heat it up and it'll make it a lot easier to come out. We have two broken on this side, but they're already exposed, so we'll try and get these ones out without welding them up. But this one will definitely have to take a welder to it and get that bolt out. Hopefully we don't damage any of the threads in the process, but done a lot of these, so it should be okay.
That's my head gasket.
Yeah, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of water. So you see how this one, and this one are seated?
Mm-hmm.
That one's not. So either we've got something holding this open, or we have a bent valve, which I'm not seeing any hits, but again, it was also in the junkyard, so anybody could have been cranking it over and dropped a bolt in there, because we already had that issue once earlier that we had to pull out of one of the intakes. There was a bolt in there, somebody turned it over, and there was one of the valves was stuck open.
Mm. I mean, we did have it turning like this.
Yeah, it'll still spin. It's just we gotta get all this
Water out.
Yep. So bolt's going back in. We'll turn this over. I'm actually gonna have you hold that underneath the whatever cylinder's coming up, so we can catch the water.
Multi-talented camera guy here. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, you completely missed.
I am terrible. That one's now. There we go.
Okay, get your.
Okay, now the bad one. Yeah, there we go.
At least that gets the majority of it out, and then we'll go back and we'll hone these. Yeah. Yep. So you got steel sleeves, which you should with an aluminum block. So
Oh
we'll
yeah.
tear this side down and see what we got on this side.
It doesn't look like there's anything major on the surface of these other than the fact they're crusty.
Yeah, no, we'll
I
pull
don't
them.
see a lot of scoring either.
No, we'll pull it all out. We'll hone these just with a simple hone. We'll clean up, we'll wire wheel all the pistons, get all the grime off them. Once we get the bottom end off, we'll see if there is any damage to the bearings, the rod bearings, crank bearings. Like I said, we're going to delete this completely, so this is just going to go away, which means all of our lifters are going to change too.
Hooray!
And no water on this side. Definitely got cooked. Overheated, or did not change oil, or a little bit of both. You can definitely tell it got a lot hotter on this side. Our plastics are pretty crispy. We'll take this off, we'll take these out, because like I said, we're gonna replace the lifters anyways. We're stuck in plastic back off first. Take center of the valley out and see what we got. Oh, she got hot. This is our pickup tube. This is going to be relocated to the front. We'll get it's already got a baffled in it. We can use this if we want, if there's room, but we'll see. So I'm going to tear this off, tear the baffled off, and start looking at all of our crank and rods, see how they look.
So how is this different from the new one we have on the low profile?
So it's supposed to relocate this to the front. That one's long, so we might have to figure something out with that, because that almost looks like it's supposed to stay back here. So we might have to address that. That might be the wrong pan altogether. That might be just a low profile pan, because that's what it looks like.
Oh, on the advertisement it said front sump.
We'll see. Given how that's put together, that sits back here. So we're gonna have to look into seeing if we can send that back and see if we can find the correct one. Or it might work for what we need. It just depends on how high up we go with the engine. So we might be okay, but it also depends on what we do when we mock it up.
Yeah.
So we'll get it all mocked up and see if we need to replace it.
Okay, so we got the AE86 on some Jacksons and stuff. We're gonna see we could move this rod right here. I know you can zoom in on that, give it a little bit of light on it. We only have a certain amount of adjustment on it, so we might have to pull them off and everything. But I think the main point right now is to break him loose, get them to break loose and get them to move, so that way we could see where we're standing with it. And then from there we have to take them off and then cut them up a little bit. Then that's what we're gonna do. I think if we get it like about an inch or 3/4 of an inch, then I think we should be right where we want to send it this wheel. So yeah, let's get to it and then see if it moves. Okay, so it actually moved, so that's great. So now we have this adjuster nut right here, if you guys can see it. And then if you want to take a little shot of the camera, see if we get some movement out of the tire as I'm basically rotating this.
Coming forward.
Coming forward. Sometimes it's very important to walk things back and forth, just so that way you break a lot of the debris out, and it just makes it a lot easier. So when you feel like you're getting tight on this, just pull it back off and then just give it a little bit of movement. That should free it up. We're maxed out right there, so.
Should we turn the wheel and see if she has enough clearance now?
No, we're gonna have to pull that off and cut it. If you see the center of the wheel. I mean, you guys haven't been done this for as long as I have, but doing about 4,000 or 5,000 alignments and just being a dedicated suspension tech, it just has taught me to have an eye for things. We're right where we, not right where we need to be, that would be lying honestly, but we're about 3/4 of an inch, you know, where I want this at. This is more like a 1. It's good enough now, but we don't do good enough here. We do closest to perfection as we can. You know, some things can't be perfect, but the closest that we could get there, it's exactly where it's gonna sit. So we're gonna probably take the tires off, we'll mount the bar, and then cut it. You know, I'm kind of going over it, just I think faster than my map moves. So keep that in mind, guys. You know, don't terrorize me too much over it. I'm just thinking of how I'm gonna get this done as Will filming. So just bear with me, and then we'll pull it off and cut it and see where we're at after that. Okay, guys. So we got this wheel pretty center up. Guys, take a little closer look at that. See where we started. And we're actually kind of put a full fist in here. Now if you want to zoom in and come back, record this corner as we're turning. Clearance all around.
No longer hitting.
Right, if you want to shoot over the other side, then I think you guys will be able to see the difference. We still got to work on this side right now, but about half a hand. And then once I go ahead and turn it,
You're rubbing.
So that's what we didn't want to do. So pretty much, guys, up in this on my part on this suspension, I'm gonna go ahead and then just do what I did to this side to the opposite side, and then we should be good to go.
Throw fenders on it.
Throw fenders on it, yeah. And then we got our fender roller over here. Roll some fenders up a little bit, but I think you could keep the 17s. You could
Yay!
put some tire on it.
Hooray.
And then we did find out that there's a difference, and you guys are gonna see it on the time lapse, that the rear axle is actually shifted between 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. So we still I gotta get underneath it and figure out. So if you guys see on the time lapse where I'm measuring from here to here instead of from here to there, It's definitely why, because we have different measurements all around. But this being one of the body panels, or any, or basically the body, it's symmetrical from side to side. So if you were to measure from this point to this point, technically you would be all right, unless your frame is tweaked, then you definitely got some bigger issues. But there's really not much to this. Is you measure it, you cut it, and then you put it back together, and then if not, then you take it back apart, you cut it a little bit more. You know, don't cut too much, because you could always fuck that up. Don't ask me how I know, but let's go ahead and then keep working on this.
Hey guys, so we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the inside. It has been a huge learning process for me, learning how to deal with this, how to build this, how to do this. This is all new for me. So it was a lot of trial and error, hence why I didn't film a lot of it. It was just because I wanted to learn for myself so I could do a little bit better and make things better. I've repeated things several times to get them where they're currently at, and they're still not quite perfect. So if you want to come around this end for me, I'm going to go ahead and show you. One, the door works now. I fixed both doors. So both doors work. I took out the dash and I bondoed all the cracks, sanded it down. I did a lot to it, and then I did a vinyl felt that goes over the top of it, and it's sitting nicely. It's not the best work, but this is the first time I've ever done something like this. As you guys can see down here, I also have done a lot of sound paneling to try to create kind of a flooring. I did the same thing to the roof, which if you look up here, you can see up here on the roof, it now has a headliner. Is it perfect? No, but I am still working a lot of that stuff. I'm going to be using the same material I have here on the dash. I'm going to be taking and doing all my pillars, my sides up here, all that stuff. And you probably also noticed that the seat is different. This is not an 8.6 seat. This is from a 2001 Celica. I have the driver's side one as well, just because these seats for the 8.6 are so hard to find, and this one is in pretty rough condition. I am going to be modifying the Celica seats to sit in here until I can find another 8.6 seat. With that, you also can see back here, especially if I move this seat out of the way, ignore the tools. I have built out the back seats. Those are now in, cleaned up, and in the back I'm still working on it, but there is now some of the same headliner fabric in the back that is now containing the speakers, and kind of gives me an area back there to work on and improve on. So lots of stuff is going into this. It's been a huge learning curve. I've been learning how to do everything from paint to put panels together, bondoing, doing a lot of that stuff. I'm not putting carpet in until we can figure out the transmission, how much of the area we're gonna have to either bang out or cut, depending on what we're gonna have to do, and weld new panels in to cover it up to the firewall. As soon as I do that, then I'll finish the sound deadening all around it. I'll build a custom dash. I marked it out of ABS plastic, but right now I'm working on maybe doing it with some riveting and some stainless steel kind of sheet metal that I'll bend and fabricate into however that dash goes, and then felt it over with the same suede stuff that we're doing. If you guys look up top, in order to do that, I had to put in an aluminum sheet that is on the inside. There's another one that is going to go over the top here, that we have a guy that's currently getting the right shape and bends for me so it sits nice and flush. But I have silicone this so there's no water that can get into there. It's sound deadened, so it's not going to be popping up and down, like a tin can as you're driving. And then I'll foam fill this with some kind of foam or sound deadening or something in between the two layers of steel. That way we have two different areas that is kind of pulling it together. But for now it's watertight. Nothing's going to come through there. With the doors being fixed and everything going there, I'm learning how to paint. I got a nice little It's not super fancy, but I got a nice paint gun for Christmas, and I've been learning how to use it. It's definitely a huge learning process learning how to do this over spray can. So the paint you see on here is not the final. I am working on learning the process. I've been doing it, sanding it down, doing it, sanding it down. With doing this process, I've kind of learned what I'm officially going to do with it, which is going to be all the side panels here are going to be kind of this purplish color with the hood back down to the roof, down to the trunk, and then the bumpers you're gonna see on there are gonna be kind of a matte black. So I think a matte black center with a nice kind of dark midnight purple on the sides. And of course I have my side skirts I'm gonna be putting on that are also gonna be a matte black. They kind of tie the two pieces together. So that's about what I've been working on. And I'll guys keep you informed as I'm improving on this process and getting better and better at it. Hey guys, so we're done for today. We're done with what we've been working on. I'm gonna turn it over to Hugo and Yoshi to kind of go over what's next and next steps and processes. So let's go talk to them on those.
So after engine's all torn down, we just gotta go through it now, make sure our valves are good, see how our seats are looking, see how the bore is and all of where the cam and the crank are sitting, see how the bearings are doing, get the pan on, mock it up. If you guys notice I'm a little red, I've been sanding a hood for the past hour or so for this car. That's gonna get primered here soon. And Hugo's gonna go over what he's just finished up on the 86.
So we were talking about a little while ago about getting the wheel center. So I don't know if you could probably shoot it on that side so they could see how the wheel we got center. So we had to end up coating those links up like we were talking about last time. And then we got it pretty center and actually gave it some adjustment. Now the passenger side, what's a fucking ass. We had to go get the lefty loosey special liquid, and then we finally got it to break loose. We took it off, and it center that wheel also. So now it actually turns up and down. We actually have the fenders on it now, and then
we push it in and out of the shop now.
Easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've been neglecting to leave the shock out because we gotta let the spring fall out one last time.
No, it's staying in here till that's put in.
You can't play basketball with the rear end?
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. Anyways, so I think that's it for the suspension till we get some new parts and we could actually start working on the rear end. We mentioned that we do have a mock-up block, so now with everything of this situated, it'll be a lot easier to get in and out the shop, so we can start working on getting that mocked up while the engine gets built. And then we're still looking for a T56. I do have a CTSB that I'm gonna be doing a cam over the winter, so we might just have to use that one for mock-up.
Mock-up or
mock-up.
for keeps. We'll see.
Unless you could give me a TR6060, then I'll be completely happy of letting go of that T56.
But yeah, we got the fenders on. Those are on now. They're looking good. I got the bumper hopefully coming in here soon. I have the other bumper sitting over there with some side skirts over there. So we can start getting those placed on it. Just working on the fitment. I gotta start trying to mount these Celica seats from in here. I gotta take out this one, go grab the other Celica seat that's in my tent outside right now, and try to put those both in there, see how they fit in and how to mount them. That's probably what's next for me on my end. I know my fabrication guy has the top aluminum all English wheeled and nice fitting the curve of the car, so that should be easy to get on there.
Did you tell them about the pretty new bolts?
Oh yeah,
For your fender?
we went and got some new bolts for the fender, so that it had bolts, because I can't remember where we put all the bolts for those. I think it's in a box somewhere.
No, we had two. We had two when we grabbed
We
the
had
car.
two.
Two per side. So, and then we just went and got some nice ones.
Oh yeah, and then over here we got kind of all my boxes of stuff that I'm getting for the H6. I have my Evil Energy fuel system. I'm really liking the Evil Energy stuff, so I'll try to see maybe how we can start getting that mounted. I'm debating on cutting out the spare tire wheel, putting some steel there, and then, you know, we can mount that up so I can fuel it up from the trunk. And then run the fuel lines, get our universal LS mounts welded into here. As soon as we get everything mocked up, I gotta cut out this battery terminal holder here, so that I can relocate that in the back and we have a little bit more room in the engine. And I gotta start doing the teardown of all these different parts and components in the engine. I'm gonna be looking for a smaller brake booster so that we have a little bit more room, and then we'll go from there.
Actually, I do want to point out that I'm looking in here. If you want to take a shot of those inner tie rods, I mean, they're not new on anything by any means, but it was just for mocking up stuff. But that angle of the tie rods actually fitting pretty well with the S13 knuckle. So for those that haven't watched episode 1 or 2, we did a full S13 conversion up in the front, and then we're running into some issues with the old coilovers. So one of our guys got us some HKS coilovers. So that's done. So it's a full S13 conversion. So if you guys have any questions about doing the conversion, it's actually quite simple. You get your knuckle, you get your bearing, you tap, you get new holes on your basically your lateral links, if that's what they're calling this. And then you gotta shorten them, or if you buy some that are shorter than the E86 ones, then you're basically good to go on the S13 front end. Now we're gonna be looking to get the brake lines made, and then
oh yeah, we gotta get
the front end's gonna be pretty quick. And then other than that, it'll just be basically grabbing boots, grabbing new tie rods, grabbing new outers, just basically refreshing the whole stuff with new stuff will be the best of doing on the front end suspension. And then once I get a little more time, then we'll start working the rear end of why that's shifted to 1 inch to one side. And then I guess we're doing a Ford 8.8, right?
Probably, if we can get a hold of one. But there's a whole bunch of tear apart, so
yeah, so do that. So then we'll start working on the rear cradle and start working the rear suspension and get that ready to go, so that way it's whenever we get the engine and everything, he could just get on it and drive it out of here for a little while.
Oh yeah. But we're gonna keep progress on this. You'll see this on the next episode. We're gonna roll these fenders a little bit. I got some fender flares to go over it, so we'll get those done. And we're gonna get a whole bunch of other stuff done, so we'll see you guys hopefully sooner than later, and we'll get this all done and
Sweet.
get on the next
Take
part.
it easy, guys.
Take it easy.